It's at James Madison University. I hear James was a pretty good point guard back in the day. Sun Belt Conference women's basketball this evening inside the Atlantic Union Bank Center. We have a showdown that, well, in the preseason didn't look like it would be as magnified as it is tonight, as it's really a battle for first place as the Dukes of James Madison, 6-1 in league play, take on the unbeaten Thundering Herd of Marshall University from Huntington, West Virginia in this evening's Wednesday encounter. Hello, everyone. She is Missy Buckeye. Kurt Dudley, Savannah Wilkerson will also join us here this evening for this ball game. And we get things underway. Week number 5 in the Sun Belt, Missy, starts a little early with a Wednesday night showdown. Two teams, a matchup of different styles, and quite frankly, sizes as well.
Yeah, definitely. Sort of a polar opposite with these teams. JMU's matches up really well with most of the Sun Belt teams, but not this one. They're so quick. JMU's best in scoring defense, and Marshall is best in the league in scoring offense. So
something's got to give.
Yeah, something's got to give.
Yeah,
somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose.
Certainly. JMU, of course, with the big inside presence, that should play a pretty big role in tonight's ball game. Well, we have a National Player of the Week on the court tonight for the visitors from Marshall.
Yeah, Abby Beeman, she is something else. She just scored her 2,000th point in their last game at home versus Coastal Carolina. She's only the 4th player in Marshall history that has done that. Not only that, but she's also has notched 2 triple doubles this season, which is pretty amazing. That would be points, rebounds, and assists. Not too shabby for a 5'4" point guard.
Yeah, former Division II player. We'll get more into that as well. For the Dukes of James Madison, we saw what Heather Briscoe can do when it comes to scoring. Her best output as a Duke.
Oh yeah, that was super fun to watch. So help me heaven, I like to say. She had her career high just a couple nights ago on 7-9 shooting and only 19 minutes off the bench. So looking forward to seeing what Bristow can bring to us this evening.
The Ohio State transfer with her most productive evening is in terms of scoring. She does a lot of other things on the court very well. Molly Coldwell, Aaron Brooks, and Michael Aguilar are the officials for tonight's contest. And James Madison with the opening possession. The Dukes in the whites this evening on a sneaker night here at the Atlantic Union Bank Center. Of course, the players always wearing those basketball shoes, but all the fans wearing them tonight as well. They got to learn how to hang on to the basketball, and here down the floor goes Beeman.
I thought they were playing soccer there for a second.
It looked like it. This might be a backcourt violation. And it is, as it was last touch. So a couple of turnovers on the first 2 possessions.
Yeah, Marshall is a very quick team. They really don't set up an offense. They like to run and gun.
As Coach Caldwell says, they want to use every bit of the court, both offensively and defensively, and they're just going to harass you. Here's the starting 5 for Coach Sean O'Regan and the JMU women's basketball Dukes, presented by Atlantic Union Bank. Inside it goes to Kozlova, one of those starting 5s, and she is called for steps. Got McDaniel, Mullins, Hazel, Oderkirk, and Kozlova as 3 possessions, 3 turnovers. Here in the opening minute of this encounter, meeting number 10 all time between the two. The Dukes have a 7-2 advantage overall. For the Thundering Herd, Campbell, Beeman, Hayes, one of the 2 Hayes sisters, Scott and Mayer on the floor for the ladies wearing the black this evening. A little pull-up jumper in the lane from Brianna Campbell puts the scoreboard in work for the first time. She had 24 points last Thursday against Old Dominion. A quick turnover for the Dukes. And now off the defensive rebound for James Madison.
Everything's quick for this Marshall team. They can score so fast, and they're just right there, a score and then a turnover and another shot within seconds.
Mullins inside, but anticipated by Beeman. Last touch by Beeman, and 2 subs. We'll see this quite a bit. They will exchange players quite often, will be heard. And so in there we see Alasia Hayes, who is the other of the Hayes sisters, out on the court, and coming out there as well was Sydney Scott. And Scott actually was on the floor already, so on the floor right now is Redmond. Ariana has come in. Ball tapped by Kozlova. Out. McDaniel, 3-pointer in.
Nice job by Hazel to keep the ball alive for the Dukes and get a second shot.
Always good if McDaniel gets one of her first two to fall. She usually is on her way to a pretty good night after that. Had a 33-point effort just a couple of weeks ago in a career high. And there you see the ball ripped away. And that is what you can expect. Sydney Scott pulls that away from McDaniel. Long range for Beeman off the front of the iron. A rebound. Mullins of the Dukes. Into the forecourt goes Mullins. Transfer from St. Joe's up off the glass. Too strong. And off the floorboard on the foot rings goes Sydney Scott. Scott will pull it into the left lane. Drops it down to the left side where it is Redmond. Redmond back to Scott. Blocked by Oderkirk. Rebound right back into the hands of the Thundering Herd. 2.5 elapsed in the ball game.
Yeah, the Dukes have come out with some great intensity on the defensive end. Nice block by Oderkirk.
Up and over, and it's going to tumble on out. And a foul reaching in as Kozlova was getting the basketball corralled. Coach Sean O'Regan, the 8th year for this head coach of the Dukes, 170 wins, 67 losses, the 2003 James Madison alum. And on his staff, Neil Haro, his associate head coach, Lexi Barrier, and Kayla Cooper-Williams. Lexi will give birth here in about a month, so she is working a little deep here into January, and then she'll take a little maternity leave.
She looks real good. Looks healthy.
Basketball got her in good shape. Here's Kozlova.
Oh, nice shot from the
Rare shot from the outside for Kozlova. Where'd that one come from?
Well, maybe she thought about that first possession. She should have taken that 8-foot shot.
Long range three, and this is a team, Missy, we know this too. They will toss up 30-plus threes in any one game. And here is Coach Kim Stevens Caldwell, known as Kim Stevens in West Virginia. What a track record she had at her alma mater, Glenville State. 7 years before this, a 191 win, 24 loss, 89% on the win. And Kozlova scores for James Madison. That's her second bucket. She's got 4. The Dukes with a 7-2 lead, which is the same lead they have in this series.
Yeah, good start by Asusha there on the offensive end for the Dukes. But yeah, Caldwell in her last 2 seasons at Glenville State, 68-4.
And won a Division II national championship.
Amazing.
Yes.
And that's just crazy good numbers.
And that was last touch by Marshall. And it is just a revolving door. Official score is going to be really busy on the other side, as will be the stat crew, as they are just rolling bodies in and out. Both teams are. And JMU typically will go with a new group of 4 or 5 after the first media timeout, but going a little earlier today, which actually they've started to do that over the last couple of games. And another takeaway in the backcourt. Here's Redmond. Thought she was going to take the 3. Kozlova was irking her just a bit. And Kozlova with the steal.
Good hands by the big from JMU, Kozlova.
Chloe Sterling on the court for James Madison with possession of the basketball. Works it over to the right side. We're coming on back. She had one wicked crossover a couple of weeks ago that broke a couple of ankles nearly.
Yeah, she did that.
Sterling in the paint, floats the shot with the left hand. Oh, in and out. That was 2/3 of the way down.
Oh, good move by Chloe Sterling.
Sterling known more for her defensive prowess than offensive scoring, but she can score the basketball. Long range 3, that's off the mark.
Nice box out by Bristow for the Dukes.
Down the floor quickly, Hazel and Kozlova baseline.
Susha Kozlova said, why not? She's feeling it.
Sousa celebrating her 23rd birthday yesterday, and there's the 3 answered by Sydney Scott.
Well, Sydney Scott can absolutely light it up, no doubt. She did that in their last game.
It's her 21st three-pointer on 74 tries. She made 43 triples last year, and she has some purple and gold connection.
She does. Jackie Pratt played for my former coach, Sheila Mormon, a couple seasons here. I think she was riddled with some injuries, so didn't have a full career here, but nice to have Sydney Scott here on the court tonight. I wonder if Jackie's here.
Good question. Didn't get a chance to try to seek her out before today's ball game. Skip pass here to the near side. Open shot. And Bristow, who just scored the bucket for James Madison, gets the rebound at the other end. Sterling needs some help. She was tiptoeing the line.
I think she was trying to pass ahead to Kozlova, had a little jump on the defense that time.
Coach Caldwell having a little bit of a chat with our lead official, Molly Caldwell, today, and a foul on the floor is on the Thundering Herd. Have to pick up exactly who it was on when we return, but Susha, she is scoring from all points on the floor. A little outside mid-range game for the Russian.
The best resale value brand according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com for the third year in a row. On a $45,000 vehicle, see how these Toyotas are predicted to be worth thousands more than the average vehicle after the first 5 years of ownership. That's performance you can count on. Shop local inventory on buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, Susha Kozlova was 6 of the 11 points for James Madison. The Dukes with an 11-5 lead over the Marshall Thundering Herd. Our first media timeout. Let's welcome in our third member of tonight's broadcast crew, Savannah Wilkins. I got a little insight on what the coaches think about this matchup.
Yeah, Kurt. Sean O'Regan expects Marshall to sub early and often in order to keep those fresh legs on the court, something he was worried about being able to simulate in practice earlier this week. He told his team they need to keep their hands up and get back on defense because this Herd team plays fast and shoots lots of three-pointers. On the other side, Team Caldwell told us she was concerned about the Duke's height and depth. She says her team needs to be disciplined and stay in their positions to offset JMU's size. And while Marshall can normally wear down teams that only rotate their 7 to 8 players, JMU has much more balance and depth. In her words, JMU is the team to beat. Kirk?
Yeah, that's certainly one of the neutralizing factors that may come into today's matchup. You go back, one of the marquee wins for the Herd was against the Florida Gators as a charge is called against Ashante Barnes, her first personal foul, and a turnover for JMU. There have been quite a few of those already. But they defeated the Gators 91-88, and Coach Caldwell said part of the reason was she felt like the Gators' legs just got a little noodly there at the end.
Right.
She didn't use that phrase.
Right.
But they just got tired, and the Herd basically outran them.
Well, after scouting this team, I get it. I mean, they just don't stop.
That was another in and out 2/3 of the way down.
If they didn't have fresh legs, they would not be able to keep up this pace. It's funny because I thought Coach O'Regan subbed a lot, but it's really a different system that Coach Caldwell runs at Marshall.
Evan Bristow called for the personal foul. That's number 1 on her. Barnes with a rebound.
Marshall just coming out shooting cold. Just 17% thus far in that first quarter. The Dukes are shooting 56. They both shoot about the same, Kurt. They both shoot about .425 for their field goal percentage for the season.
Considering how many shots Marshall typically gets up, that's one way they get a lot of points.
Yeah, that's right. There you go, Evan Bristow on the board for the Dukes.
Bristow, her game against the Monarchs, the 20 points, 4 rebounds in that game, shot the ball well from all points on the floor. The Dukes come up with a basketball with an 8-point lead. Sterling back into the forecourt, gets there, lays up, uncontested.
Very nice. Nice take by Chloe Sterling.
That's Chloe Sterling's 100th career point.
The Dukes have come out prepared for this game, it seems, but again, Marshall's just not started getting hot yet.
That was deflected partially, and another rotation for the Thundering Herd. Beeman comes right back out there, as does Meredith Mayer. Mayer hit a couple of big three-pointers against Old Dominion. The game before Old Dominion came to James Madison last Saturday. That opened up that ball game, and the win over the Monarchs for the Thundering Herd.
I think just about every player on that team hit a three. That was just a crazy good offensive night for Marshall.
Redmond puts the foot to the ground. Long rebound, run up. Beeman finds it there. Another three-pointer, left wing, that's good. And Campbell hits it from the left flank. That gives her 5. And that's her 19th tray of the year. Coming into the ball game, shooting from beyond the arc in a good clip at 40%. And a bumping foul called against Mayer. Nearly got Sterling to step into the back court. Instead, she is whistled for the infraction.
Yeah, this full court man run and jump press is just very difficult to look at. So we'll see how the Dukes are going to handle it. They already have 5 turnovers thus far.
Coach Caldwell wants you to be uncomfortable all 40 minutes of the ball game, as that wraparound pass a little too strong, and Alicia Goodman could not come up with it.
She just likes to sort of disrupt things, make teams not play like they're used to playing, basically.
And she said, I want to take away what you practice 99% of the time.
Take you out of your comfort zone.
Well, the way that they scramble in and out, it takes a lot of people, even the statisticians, the broadcasters, everybody out of their comfort zone to a certain degree. Just with all the new faces that get in there. And a blocking foul. No, it is a charge called on Ashley Tudor, who has just come in.
Yeah, Anna Goodman just stood her ground there. I wasn't sure they were going to call that, but good charge, good pickup by Goodman for the Dukes.
Okay, Hazel back on the floor for James Madison. Also, let's introduce Carol Miller, graduate student, a transfer from UVA on the court for the Dukes, wears number 11. And that's nearly a steal, and it ends up being so. Out to Beeman, and Sterling takes the bounce pass away. They are definitely anticipating it well, and the finish by Barnes too strong. And Alicia Goodman is there for the bucket.
And that's what JMU has to do, not counting missing that first bunny shot, but to beat this press, you've got somebody wide open on the other end.
And Goodman, who took the charge just a moment ago, scores her 400th career point at the opposite end. And a foul called against the Thundering Herd here in the final minute of the opening stanza. Tudor picks up her second. A transfer from Radford, and hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, but she's got 2 personal fouls. There's the pressure again. Barnes, ahead it goes to Hazel. Miller, didn't like the patience there. Could have taken the 3, but very early in the shot clock. That's one way to kind of temper the tide.
Yeah, that was good patience.
Barnes takes the 3 from the corner. Off the mark. It was an open look with 15 seconds to go in the shot clock.
Yeah, Barnes can nail that outside shot. In fact, she's leading the Dukes in 3-point field goal percentage.
43%, has 10 on 24 tries now. And Thundering Herd is going to wait for the final shot, as just a split second the difference. Game clock and shot clock. They give it to Redmond. Long range 3. Banks off the backboard. Barnes the rebound. 2 seconds. Hazel is fouled. And that is foul number 5. Maybe, actually, it's number 6. So that will put the Dukes at the free throw line for a couple of shots.
Well, that's one of the things when you play this type of aggressive defense. You know you're going to pick up some fouls, but the more bodies you run in there, the less likely you're going to have a couple or 1 or 2 people in foul trouble.
All right, so Redmond picks up the personal foul. It sends Hazel to the free throw line. Jania, 33rd on the all-time scoring list of James Madison. She comes into tonight's contest 1,019 career points as she hits the free throw, so give her 1,020. Next on the list is Julie Franklin, one of your old teammates. Didn't y'all cross paths?
Yeah, Julie Franklin. I played maybe just 1 year.
Yep. So Julie scored 1,091 from 1983 to 87.